Now, having seen Evil Dead Rise, I think that I can say with full confidence that, in my opinion, the Evil Dead franchise still does not have a single bad entry. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Horror Fan 88 channel. I'm back once again for another video, and as you can see from the title, today I'll be giving you my spoiler-free thoughts on Evil Dead Rise. Now, of course, this was my most anticipated film of the year. I am an Evil Dead fanatic. If you have not been following along, I have reviewed every film in the franchise leading up to this new movie. You can definitely check out those reviews if you would like. I go much more in depth on why this is my top franchise, right there with Halloween, why the franchise is so important to me, and stuff like that. So, here we are. Evil Dead Rise is finally here. And I feel like I've been following this movie for years now, back when this was originally going to be like a straight-to-streaming movie, but thankfully, due to positive test screenings, they decided to give this a theatrical release, which, of course, I was excited about. I mean, to see another Evil Dead movie on the big screen, hell yeah. Of course, this film was directed by Lee Cronin, who I think does a fantastic job directing this film. Amazing shots throughout, great cinematography, and overall, I just think that the film looks really good. Of course, this film was also produced by Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and Rob Tapert, who are still very much involved with the franchise, which of course I'm very happy about. It's one of those things, like I've said, with Ash Williams being like my favorite movie character of all time. Sure, it sucks not having him in the movies anymore, but, to still have Bruce Campbell involved with the franchise makes me feel a bit better overall. Yeah, Evil Dead Rise. What do I think about this film? 2 thumbs up. Fucking loved it. I had an absolute blast with this film. I thought it was just a roller coaster of a ride, and I left the theater a very satisfied Evil Dead fan. Just going, yes, still another great one in the franchise, and it just overall didn't disappoint. So, of course, the main story, you have 2 estranged sisters. You have Ellie, played by Alyssa Sutherland, and Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, and I think overall they both did a great job in this film. And hell, I think, at the end of the day, everybody did a great job in this movie. Tons of great performances. There's even some emotional scenes throughout this movie due to the subject matter and stuff. And I just thought overall they handled it really well. And, this movie is still very brutal. Now, I feel like even after seeing this movie, I would still say that Evil Dead 2013 is probably still the darkest movie of the franchise, like brutality-wise. Because in all honesty, there's no humor in Evil Dead 2013. They play it completely serious. This film, while it still plays it very serious, I think they sprinkle a little bit more humor here and there with some of the things the Deadites say. And it's not like a slapstick way. It's more of just like a, damn, that kind of funny way. Stuff like that. Great practical effects throughout in this film. I think overall, all the makeup and everything looks great. One of the things I loved about this film was the opening. Upon this movie coming out and early reviews, I was hearing a lot of people mention the title card. It's like every other thing I saw, people were like, the title card. And I'm here to say, yep, that title card was pretty badass. And I guess, throughout the movie, how they discover the Necronomicon, this time it having, once again, another different design. This time it kind of has like a Venus flytrap look to it, but overall still really cool. They do, tongue-tied, I'm sorry. They do some cool things with the Necronomicon in this movie, kind of expanding on the lore here and there, and just overall doing different things. Everything involved with how, the incantations are read and how the demons are set free. I just think they did a real great job with that. Another thing this movie does, I will say, there are a few winks and nods here to other films in the franchise, but I will say, to me, it did not solely rely on that. This did not feel like a movie that was just throwing fan service here and there just to be like, hey, hey, hey. They were just cool little details here throughout, so us fans could be like, hey, that was cool. You know, stuff like that. So thankfully I didn't feel like they weighed too heavy into that. But like I said, as far as like some of the emotion goes, I mean, it is pretty sad. You know, one of the biggest plots of the film is that this mother gets possessed. You know, it's all through the marketing and stuff. So, you know, her sister and her kids have to watch her become a Deadite and say and do these horrible things. But like, you know, they definitely, to me, this still felt like an Evil Dead film. Even though it's its own thing, it still feels very much like an Evil Dead. And at the end of the day, I'm glad that they went with just another sequel route rather than like another reboot or a requel or something. And I like that. You know, there's so many different things and stories you could tell surrounding the Book of the Dead, surrounding the Necronomicon, and what that does. So, overall, as far as where the franchise is going, I'm very happy overall. And, yeah. And just one more thing I wanted to mention, the peephole scene. Now, this has been in the trailers and promotional stuff, but you know the scene where the mother is standing at the peephole and she's like, open up now. I loved the way that was shot, the creepiness of it. It was just all so great. So, you know, like I said, this was just a spoiler-free review. Just wanted to give my quick thoughts. Maybe eventually I'll do a like deep dive spoiler review. But with that being said, please no spoilers in the comments. You know, the film just came out, so I would like if everyone got a chance to see it first. But yeah, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I guess it's an Evil Dead movie. I left happy as hell. Very excited to talk about it, and I definitely want to go see it more. But I would highly recommend Evil Dead Rise. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.